Meteorologist Rob Perillo.
Welcome back. Well, beautiful weather ahead, and as we move forward, a couple of fronts of the 10-day forecast. And even when you have a relatively quiet day, I still like to look at the high-resolution satellite imagery. And today I found something interesting, so let's show you that first off as we look at coastal Louisiana and offshore. And you don't see these too often, and this is part of also the GO 16 upgrade. But look at all this blue-green out in the Gulf of Mexico. This is actually an algae bloom, more than likely. I don't know if it's a bad one or a good one or a natural one or not, but there's one out there, and you can see it extends to the Texas coast. Generally, in the Gulf of Mexico, the water currents move from east to west, so that's why we get all the Mississippi River effluent and the Atchafalaya River effluent, and our beaches are not quite as nice, we'll say it that way, as compared to, say, Florida. But nonetheless, this is interesting, and with a north wind, that tends to upwell phytoplankton and algae, so might be a little bit of an interesting phenomena there. I can't tell you though if it's good or bad. Also, you can see some of this brown area, that's muddy silt coming out of the Atchafalaya running to the west as well, so that's where your turbid water is. Hard to see visibility wise, and if you look close enough as you get into Cameron and western Vermilion, Cameron Parish up through Calcasieu Parish, this color here is a little bit browner than just about anywhere else on the Louisiana coastline, highlighting the browning effect from the storm surge and the trees getting stripped of their leaves from Hurricane Laura. So you can always cull something even on a clear day. Some interesting meteorology. Hopefully you found it interesting. I found it fascinating. So here's the big picture. Got this big ridge of high pressure dominating behind a strong, deep upper level low that's digging into the Gulf of Mexico. So we have this northwest dry flow across the area. So 0 rain chances for the next week, maybe more. And this same ridge of high pressure, unfortunately, fanning the flames in California as well. So kind of a good and bad scenario. Meanwhile, as we get out into the tropics, we'll notice a little bit of a disturbance here by Hispaniola, some tropical moisture northeast of the Caribbean, out in the Atlantic here, and I think they're going to all conspire down the line for something that's going to develop, and so does the National Hurricane Center, indicating now a 60% chance of something developing down here by the weekend, perhaps a tropical depression. We'll have to wait and see. So as we look at the European model, we showed this earlier, it shows a broad area of low pressure developing, and maybe a little bit of a Central American gyre going on here, and then slowly trying to drift to the north and west, but we keep on getting these cool outbreaks, which is certainly good news. But here we are 9-10 days out, still broad low pressure in the northwestern Caribbean. GFS model, this is a later model run, showing pretty much the same going into the weekend with that tropical moisture right by the Yucatan, a fairly large gyre down here, and then more tropical moisture getting into the equation, and the GFS actually putting a system in the Bay of Campeche, perhaps the Gulf of Mexico, 9 or 10 days down the road. So something that we'll have to watch. We'll have to make sure these cool fronts keep coming, but for now, no worries for the next 10 days. No promises beyond the 7 to 10 day time frame though. However, near term though, nice and cool. We're not going to be concerned with the tropics for now until we see something more definitive. Then tomorrow, beautiful day, lots of sunshine. The graph model is going for 80 degrees tomorrow. Certainly a possibility. It's going to feel lower 80s with that sun and lighter winds. Cool again tomorrow night. We get down into the mid to upper 50s, and as we head into Thursday, again, mostly sunny skies, warm temperatures getting into the lower 80s, but here comes that next cool front, and that's going to ensure a breezy and cool Friday and a good-looking weekend as well. Temperature-wise tonight, getting down into the lower 50s across the board. Northern parishes along and north of Highway 190 might see a 49-degree reading somewhere between Ville Platte, Opelousas, and up toward Bunkie. 53, the good call, right on the I-10 corridor, and we'll go low to mid-50s down to the coast. Cameron, you got Big Lake to the north. You got a north wind, so it's always a little bit milder there, even with a north wind. And then for tomorrow, temperatures after that cool start topping out upper 70s to near 80. Wall-to-wall sunshine, clear skies tomorrow night, mid to upper 50s, and then getting into the lower 80s as we indicated on Thursday, but cooling down as we head into Friday and the weekend. So feeling fresh out there, nice and chilly, nearly a full harvest moon. That's actually on October 1st. And then we have a blue moon right around Halloween going into next month. So that'll be interesting. 53 the low tonight, 79, 80 the high tomorrow with nonstop sunshine throughout the day and nonstop sun as we head into the weekend. Again, a little bit cooler Friday, Saturday, trying to warm back up Sunday. But here comes the next front, and that's going to cool us off and keep the weather pretty nice, at least through the mid to latter part of next week as well. That's it for weather. We're going to have more coming up right after this short break.